the overall number, the overall amount of pollutants. It's about the immediate air. So the air being drawn into the building has then had the nitrogen oxide and the organic compounds taken out.
And then it's been created into a new, safer filter.
So, yeah.
So is the product actually based on the form? It's a very specific form and relationship between holes. If you imagine it being used multiple buildings, does it have sort of different range of colors? Does it have different range of forms?
It comes with whichever color the customer wants it to come with, and right now the design is like this, but the design is improving as we are improving the design as we go.
Yeah, it can be easily adapted to fit basically any form. We show it's got quite a gentle curve on it, this one, but it's just showing how it doesn't have to literally be like a straight facade. These things can almost cover like the span of a few, like Pam was talking about, like architecture hacking. Like obviously we're not going to come to every site and be like, oh, this wall's for that, so we might have to almost graft this quite fluid structure over like an industrial compound.
I think you'd need a range, because you wouldn't want 10 buildings looking like that side by side.
The installation, how fast is that?
It shouldn't be too hard, because once you've got, like, the forms are based on one structure, and this is continuously, it just vacuum forming for this product, because you have to do both sides. Probably it takes about 10 seconds for each side. Then that's attached together using a lightweight aluminium frame, and then these modules literally like fit together like pieces of Lego. So it would be quite a rapid climb of this thing going up.
Do you do the installation? Have you got your own fitters, or is it just subcontracted, or do you license it out to people for fitting?
We're contracted with a cladding, a fitting with people that will help us with fitting. So it's the people that we know that will do it for a lower price than it is normally. That's fitted.
I don't quite follow that.
So,
Sorry. Do you do it, or do you subcontract it to other
We'll
people?
train, and then we'll subcontract to build these structures.
Right.
Is the main fixing directly back onto the structure of the building, or is it mainly supporting the next one? Do they actually, is the structural element them fitting together, or that unit fixed back to something?
The unit's fixed towards the facade. It uses just a standard cladding system, but because it's all made out of plastic, it's a really lightweight structure, so there's no need for bulky things to hold it. It's really sort of trying to get that idea of a lightweight kind of covering for this building.
Well, the problem with lightweight is it can blow away, so how are they against that, I guess? So, at the beginning, this would have to be taken into the calculations of the facade to take the loading of this. Not so much the actual physical weight, but the wind loading when it's applied to that.
Yeah, we would have to take into consideration that maybe this can be used in designing new buildings rather than existing buildings.
Sorry if I missed it, but how long has it been now in Mexico City?
I think it's 8 or 9 months. It's quite a recent, but
Now, where are you set up? Where's your headquarters?
we're London based.
Right.
We have other workplaces in Germany.
Where's the product made?
Products made in Germany. As part of a small sort of industrial site we're going to have over there. But like I said, the idea is that as the years pass and we start growing in demand, we can hopefully upgrade to a factory size and then reducing the cost as well.
What's the lead-in time for this, for ordering?
Because it's a new product, we would have to. It's more of a consultation kind of way of working it out now. We'd have to see what the size of the product is and how we could work with that.
That's not much help. If I've got a building that's in the process of design, and we would want to know how much of a lead for ordering the materials, is it
there'd be a few contributing factors like what sort of size they want the facade, like how much light levels they want to penetrate through, and these would all weigh into the factors. So it would almost like we'd have to like design a specific like size.
But are we talking 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 3 months?
The vacuum
Whatever.
forming is a very quick process.
Sorry?
The vacuum form is a really quick process, so it can be manufactured quite quickly. It's not a long sculpting process. It is literally just.
That's incredibly vague. I just, I mean, if I order a window, I know certain windows take 16 weeks, period, so I know exactly where I stand. How long would I need to wait for this?
We'd have to take details and get back to you on that.
Right.
What do you do about corners?
It can literally, like, the modules can, like, twist and bend to start to form curves, but if there was, literally, they wanted a straight curve, we would have to, like, cut away at a certain point, so those modules would look different to the others, and that they would just weld
A
together.
square angle, like going from this flank to the other wall there. Would you have a big cladding piece of some sort down there, or would it be open?
I reckon the form wouldn't change too much as long as, so if it was a clean right angle, you'd literally have to take 45 degrees out from either one to create just literally a block angle.
You can do that, can you? Cut them off at 45 degrees.
Yeah. The building in Mexico City does have corners, and that won't help.
Would obviously, like these, the right angle units would have to be obviously different, and they probably take longer time than the other ones, but it wouldn't be too hard to adapt.
You probably need purpose-made ones, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
roof tiling, and you go into.
Yeah, but once they're set up, we can sort of use them as a grid, like a prototype to just carry on to other ones that use this sort of thing.
But making the purpose-made ones would probably have a longer lead-in time than the standard ones,
Yeah.
which would affect. I mean, there's no point sending most of it out. You need all of them,
Yeah.
so it might be a longer lead-in period than you're thinking.
One last question, everybody. Anybody? Any other questions?
No, I was just curious. I think it's interesting that it's sort of it's a research kind of material, and it's certainly great to have it sort of tested and implemented in its first sort of site. It's kind of an interesting position to be in to try and sell it on a larger market in one swoop. So it's kind of all the questions are sort of asking very, very specific questions that only, in a sense, you build up an experience of the material in situ in a highly, in a very good site actually to test it. So it's kind of an interesting set of questions to be able to respond to. So,
Right. Thank you very much.